Hello guys, I welcome you all to my channel CSNet Lectures. So in this session, I have come up with another interesting topic of graph theory. So it is spanning tree. Okay, so this type of a tree is very easier for implementation by following some of the tips and tricks which I am going to tell you, and we can implement it in a smarter manner. Right friends, so already I have said we are not going to discuss it in briefer manner. It will be very tedious for you all to keep it in mind. So what are all the important points, what are all the smarter way of implementation, all those things only we are going to see it over here friends, right? So now we will go for the topic discussion. Then friends, I request you all to please subscribe my channel so that it will be really a great motivation for our team. Okay friends, so now we can proceed. So spanning tree. So spanning tree is one type of a graph construction. So what is a tree? So how a tree will be represented? So in general, if you see, tree will be in the form of acyclic graph. Okay, so how a tree will be constructed? So like this only, isn't it? Okay, it will be having a root node, it will be having sub nodes, that is children. So these two will not be connected. Suppose if it is connected like this, it will be forming as a cycle, right? So it is a tree representation of this graph. So spanning tree is an acyclic graph representation. So please make a note of it. See, acyclic graph. It is an acyclic graph, right friends? So now, how we are going to construct the spanning tree and what is its importance in graph? So already I have discussed how to travel from source to destination normally. Suppose if I am going to travel from my place and I want to reach to Bombay or Calcutta or Kerala or wherever it is. What I will do? I will be choosing the shortest kilometer, that is the shortest way or shortest path for reaching the destination. Okay, I will not choose the longest traveling because it will be creating tiredness and it will be creating a lot of time consumption and cost will also increase. Right, so all these things will be considering in mind. So the same thing only here also for traversing from one node to another node, we are using the same condition. So having the minimum cost is the best way to reach the destination, isn't it? So the same thing we are following it in tree. So spanning tree is one of an algorithm technique. Okay, it is an algorithmic technique which is helping us to find the minimum cost, minimum kilometer that is needed or minimum weight which is needed to travel from source to destination by using two types of algorithm which I am just going to tell it to you now, right? That is later after discussing the theoretical points. Friends, please make a note of it. It is like a hint. So you must have to remember these points if they ask in spanning tree, right? So if you are going to construct a spanning tree, what is the condition? That is, the number of vertices should be equal to that of a given graph. That is, the meaning here is they will give you a graph. So that graph may be a complete graph or it may be a cyclic graph or it may be an acyclic graph, whatever graph which we have discussed already. So you must have to take that graph. Then you must have to apply some of the steps. That is, you must have to apply the steps for reducing the cost to travel between the thing which I said just now, and you must have to change it into a spanning tree, a graph with spanning tree. So this is the point that is being given, that is, don't disturb the vertices, keep the vertices as it is. Okay, keep the vertices as it is, just reduce the edges. That is the point. So for the given graph, take the vertices that is being given as it is, don't reduce or increase the vertices. Now, what is the aim of the spanning tree? Just now I told, to travel from source to destination, you should have to choose the smallest path, smallest cost, that is smallest kilometer needed to travel. Cost here is nothing but time constraint. Okay, all these things you should have to follow. Then it is an acyclic graph. So once you have constructed a spanning tree, the resultant spanning tree will be in the form of acyclic graph. So what is called an acyclic graph? This also we have discussed in the previous videos, right? So what is an acyclic graph? If I start from one vertex, I will be traveling all the vertices. Okay, after traveling all the vertices, I should not reach the same place where I have initiated. So that is called as an cyclic graph. So what is an acyclic graph? I should not visit the initial vertex from the place where I have started. So my spanning tree should be an acyclic graph. Next, after constructing the spanning tree, it will have n minus 1 edges. Friends, please make a note of it. It is a very important point. So after converting, we will be finding these values. Okay, so n stands for number of vertices. So n stands for number of vertices. So number of vertices minus 1 will be the total number of edges that will be present after constructing this spanning tree. Now, maximum number of spanning tree is possible. What is the meaning of the question? That is, if they are given you one graph, by using that graph, I can construct with the maximum probability of spanning trees. Not only one spanning tree I can construct, I have maximum probability of constructing spanning trees from one single graph. So like this, at the maximum I can construct n square spanning trees. So I can construct n square spanning trees. So n is the number of vertices. So this also a very important formula. Please make a note of it. So spanning tree will be a connected subgraph. So what is a subgraph? So what is a connected graph? So a connected graph, which I have discussed it already. All the vertices are being connected. So a graph will be having at least one path connected with all the vertices in between the source and destination. So what is a subgraph? So subgraph is nothing but from the original graph only we are constructing a spanning tree. So that resultant spanning tree we are calling it as a subgraph. Okay, so subgraph is nothing but the resultant maximum row spanning trees that I can get, so that all the subgraphs will be in the form of a connected subgraph, sorry. So these are all important points of spanning tree. Friends, please understand and then write it down. Okay, so now how we are going to construct the spanning tree? We have two types, that is two types of algorithm. So it is Prim's algorithm and Kruskal's algorithm. So these two are very important algorithms for discussing this. Okay, so very important, I mean that they may ask in examination. Okay, it may be coming in PIQs, that is MCQ, multiple choice questions, or semester examinations also. Those two algorithms and spanning tree is a very important, right? So that we are going to discuss it now. So it is nothing but, I'll write it here, suppose if we cannot able to see. So it is Prim's algorithm and Kruskal's algorithm. Prim's and Kruskal algorithm, which is very important, friends. Please make a note of it, right? So friends, in the future videos, we are going to discuss about these two algorithms. So please follow my videos so that you will be having a clear clarity. Right friends? Bye, and we will meet in the next interesting video.